Alright, so this is first official day in Mississippi.
Very quiet morning. Can't believe I haven't heard a bird gobble. It's a little cloudy and incredibly hot. But a train went by. Crows have been calling. Owls, me. Pileated woodpeckers. No turkeys. Proof that they do exist. Looks like a hen, but still, that's a sign. I'm cutting a bunch of sign, but nothing's gobbling. I'm gonna keep working around here in this bottom. This is by far the prettiest bottom I've ever been in. Just see if we can't strike something. So to recap today, I walked a lot, saw some of the most beautiful creek bottoms I've ever seen. I saw some real pretty mature pine plantations. Got my feet wet, and the turkeys whipped me. I have not seen or heard a turkey in the state of Mississippi. And I also drove a lot, close to dusk, looking for turkeys in pastures. And I didn't see any there either. The only sign I saw was in one creek bottom. And I also heard a shot from inside that same creek bottom. Day 1 in Mississippi, turkeys 1, Bonce 0.
Let's get that headlamp off my head. Oh, kind of look presentable. Guess what we're doing this morning? Turkey hunting. Last night, man, a storm rolled through. Holy crap. Thunder and lightning crashing down around the truck. I mean, I got a little worried. You know, when you see the lightning flash and you can see everything around you, and then immediately is followed by the crashing boom of thunder. And there was a severe tornado warning or watch or something. It was rough. So anyway, I didn't sleep all that well. And we're going out. Yeah, we're going out turkey hunting. I don't know what that's going to do for the birds this morning. Whether it's going to, the cooler temps are going to make them gobble, or whether because of all that rain and stuff they're going to want to be tight-lipped first thing in the morning on the limb. So we'll see. I feel like those are the two options. They're either going to wake up and gobble a lot, or they're going to do what they did yesterday and not gobble. At least I didn't hear any birds gobble yesterday. So that's kind of what we got going on this morning. Talk about rock. Right there. Thunderheart's in front of me. I would like to be closer, but that's what I have to do.
Boy, let me tell you what. God dang, do these southern birds have a gobble on them. And a drum. Oh my God. I don't know if maybe it's just because I started out on Rios and Osceolas, but Jesus Christ. Thank you, Lord. That bird the other day in Bama had the hardest gobble I can ever remember hearing on a longbeard. And this one was a very close second. Alright guys, well I've got that bird back there drying out. I wanted to kind of walk you through this hunt and what I did, and I made some mistakes, and I want to try to put those mistakes on air so that way hopefully somebody else won't make those same mistakes, because I knew I was making the mistake when I did it, and I still did it anyway. Alright, so there's a little access road right there. I'd come up and stop just behind these trees right here and waited for sunrise. A bird gobbled, and when he gobbled, so I'm pretty much standing in line with that tree that I was standing at, and he gobbled straight behind me. So this is where I did make some of the right choices. Back there is a private field, private pasture. I glassed it yesterday. I could tell that it is real short, and so I knew with it raining last night, he's going to want to go right down to that field. And I needed to get him back up into these woods. So there's a couple real good trees right along the edge here, but I knew I couldn't be that close to him, because if I was that close to that fence, he's not going to come into that fence. I needed to be about 50 yards at least away from that fence, so that way I could pull him in. When I was coming up here, there's this pile of stuff in front of me, and I knew it was going to help me and it was going to hurt me. It was going to help me because it would block his vision of me, so he wouldn't be able to see, and I would be calling from directly behind it, which would make him have to come in to investigate. That was something I did want to do, was to try to make it to where, because a lot of these woods here are real open behind me, so I wanted to kind of get something in between me and him, so that way he had to come investigate it and look, and he couldn't just sit back at a distance and then just kind of glass everything. He had to come see what was over there. But when I sat down, I knew that I had too much stuff in front of me. He was going to have to get real close or come way to the left or way to the right in order for me to get a shot. But I sat down, I was debating it. I even at one point started to get up and move, and I hesitated for just a second, and that's when he flew down. And when he flew down, I could hear him. He was real close. He flew down right in front of me and landed out here in this private field, just like I knew he was going to do that. And so he stayed at that fence line forever. Felt like forever. It was probably only a couple minutes, but it felt like forever. And I waited and waited and waited for him to come in. Eventually, he finally did. I called at him a couple times, real quiet, real soft. Now, I had time to move the camera in hindsight, but hindsight's always 20/20, and at the time I couldn't see him, but I knew he was moving left to right on me, and I didn't want him to catch my movement because I couldn't tell exactly where he was at, so I didn't end up moving the camera. My bad. What I was shooting through was, no, he was back there on that tree. So where that tree is at, he was standing just to the right of it. Now, he had come from the field over here and come through all of this, spitting and drumming and gobbling, and I wasn't able to see him until he got to just on the other side of this tree. I saw him step out. I saw a beard swinging, so I knew it was over 6-inch beard. And he stepped behind that tree, and when he stepped behind that tree, that's when I pulled the trigger on him. In hindsight, now, I said I made a mistake. This is the mistake I made. I should have been, there is that tree right there that's starting to get lit up by the sun. Had I sat right there in that tree, there is plenty of cover right around that tree for me to hide especially with this leafy suit, he never would have seen me, and it would have been a chip shot. It worked out, but it really could have not worked out had he not stepped right there into that little opening, and he stopped. If he hadn't stopped and kept on going, I would have knocked over my camera trying to get spun around to my right on him, and then all to my right back over here. All of this stuff is real super thick, and I wouldn't have been able to shoot through all that, which means that he would have had to have circled all the way down over here, which is way to my right. It would have been a very hard shot as a right-hander. Make state number 18. Getting back to what I was saying about those southern birds. They drive me freaking nuts, man. Holy cow. Both that Bama bird and this bird have made my heart hammer so freaking loud in my ears. I'm surprised I could hear that bird gobble. Just the ba la 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 la, and you can feel the energy in it. And then that drum. I mean, there's that's why I do this. That right there. This is what I live for.